It was early morning when Liam and his daughter Emma drove down a narrow, winding road. The sky was painted in soft shades of orange and pink. Birds chirped in the trees, and the air smelled fresh with the scent of earth and leaves. Liam had promised Emma an adventure far from the busy city streets. He had found a small cabin for sale, and the price was almost unbelievable. Just $5. Emma could hardly believe it. "Dad, is this real?" "$5?" she asked, her eyes wide with excitement. Liam smiled. "It's real, Emma. It's old and a little worn out, but it has character. I thought it would be fun for us to fix it together." The cabin appeared at the end of the road. It was small, made of weathered wood with ivy creeping up the sides. The roof had a few missing shingles and the paint was faded. But despite its age, there was something welcoming about it, something that made Emma's heart race with curiosity. Emma jumped out of the car, her shoes crunching on the gravel. "Look at this, Dad. It's like a storybook." Liam laughed. "Exactly. We'll make it our own storybook, Emma. Just imagine the adventures we can have here." Inside, the cabin smelled of old wood and earth. Dust lay thick on the floor and cobwebs hung in the corners. A fireplace stood in the main room, blackened from years of use, and a small wooden staircase led up to a loft. Liam and Emma explored carefully, imagining how they could clean and decorate each space. "Do you think anyone lived here recently?" Emma asked, brushing her hand along a dusty shelf. "I don't think so," Liam replied. "It's been empty for years. That's why it was so cheap. But it has potential. A little work and it could be perfect." Emma's eyes sparkled as she climbed the creaky staircase to the loft. A tiny bedroom awaited her. Sunlight streamed through a small window, illuminating a corner where a wooden chest sat covered in dust. Emma's heart skipped a beat. "What's this, Dad?" she called. Liam climbed up and peered inside the room. "Looks like a storage box. Let's see if it opens." Emma lifted the lid and a cloud of dust floated into the air. Inside were old papers, photographs, and a small wooden key tied with a red ribbon. Emma held the key carefully in her hands. "Dad, look, a key," she said, excitement bubbling in her voice. Liam examined it closely. It might open something in this cabin. Let's keep it safe and see if we can find what it belongs to." For the rest of the morning, they unpacked some things they had brought: cleaning supplies, a toolbox, and snacks. They discussed how to fix the cabin, making plans to repair the roof, clean the floors, and make the space cozy. Liam enjoyed fixing things, and Emma loved imagining what the cabin could look like when it was tidy and bright. During lunch, Emma looked out the window at the tall trees surrounding the cabin and a small creek flowing gently nearby. Birds flew in the branches and the air was quiet except for their songs. "This is amazing, Dad," Emma said. "It feels like we found a secret world." Liam nodded. "It does. Sometimes you need to leave the city to see life in a different way." After eating, Emma returned to the loft, her mind focused on the wooden chest. She examined the papers inside. Most were old letters and notes in careful handwriting. One letter caught her attention. It mentioned a hidden room in the cabin and a secret kept for many years. Her eyes widened. "Dad, listen to this," she said, reading aloud. "It talks about a hidden room that no one was supposed to find. It says the room holds something important." Liam's eyebrows rose. "A hidden room? That is unusual. Maybe it's just an old story, but it's very interesting." Emma's curiosity grew stronger. She began searching the loft carefully. She tapped the walls, checked the floorboards, and looked at the ceiling. Then, near the fireplace, she noticed a section of wood that seemed different from the rest. She tapped it lightly. The sound was hollow. "Dad, I think I found something," she shouted. Liam hurried over. "Be careful, Emma. Let's see what it is." Emma pressed the wooden patch with both hands. Slowly, it moved, revealing a small hidden door. Behind it, a narrow staircase led downward into darkness. Emma felt a shiver of excitement. "This must be the secret the letter talked about," she whispered. Liam smiled, though he felt a little nervous himself. "Let's grab a flashlight and see what's inside. We need to be careful." They climbed down the narrow stairs, feeling the cool air of the hidden space. Dust and cobwebs filled the corners. In the center of the room was a large wooden chest with carvings of stars and trees. It was old but beautiful and seemed to have been made with care. Emma approached it carefully. She noticed a small keyhole that matched perfectly with the key she had found upstairs. Her hands shook with excitement as she inserted the key and turned it. The lock clicked open. Inside the chest, they found objects that made their eyes widen. There were old maps, strange artifacts, and a small leather-bound journal with a symbol on the cover. The symbol matched the carvings on the chest. "This is incredible," Emma whispered. "It's like a treasure." Liam looked at the items in awe. "It seems this cabin has a history much deeper than we thought." "This journal might be very important." Emma opened the journal carefully. The pages were filled with stories, sketches, and instructions. It spoke of inventions, hidden knowledge, and a legacy kept secret for generations. "This is amazing," Emma said. "It feels like we found a world lost in time." Liam put a hand on her shoulder. "We need to explore it carefully. This is part of history now, and we have to protect it." The rest of the afternoon passed quickly as they studied the journal and examined the maps. Emma realized their adventure had transformed into a real mystery. Every page of the journal made her more curious, and she felt her imagination spark with endless possibilities. As the sun began to set, painting long shadows across the trees, Emma felt a mix of excitement and wonder. She knew this was only the beginning. The cabin, the hidden room, and the journal held secrets that could change their lives forever. That night, as they lay on the small beds in the cabin, Emma dreamed of hidden doors, secret messages, and discoveries waiting for them. She could hardly wait to explore more. The cabin was no longer just an old building bought for $5. It had become a place of mystery, adventure, and discovery, and Emma knew she was ready to uncover every secret it held. The next morning, sunlight streamed through the small windows of the cabin. Birds sang outside and the creek gurgled softly in the distance. Emma woke early, her heart still racing from the discoveries of the previous day. She could hardly wait to explore the hidden room again. "Dad, are you awake?" she called, peeking into the main room. Liam was sitting by the fireplace, sipping his coffee. "Good morning, Emma. I'm awake." "Did you sleep well?" "Mostly," Emma said. "I was dreaming about the hidden room. I think it wants us to find more secrets," Liam chuckled. "You always have a strong imagination, but yesterday was real enough. That journal and the maps are extraordinary. Let's see what we can learn today." Emma grabbed the flashlight and the journal, and the two of them made their way down the narrow staircase into the hidden room. The wooden chest was still open, its contents spread carefully across a small table. Emma ran her fingers lightly over the leather-bound journal, feeling the texture of the worn cover. "I want to start with the journal," she said. "Maybe it can tell us what these maps are for." Liam nodded. "Good idea. Let's read carefully. Anything could be important." Emma opened the journal to the first page. The handwriting was old but clear, with small sketches of strange machines, symbols, and maps of forests, rivers, and mountains. Some of the symbols matched the carvings on the chest. "Look at this, Dad," Emma said, pointing to a drawing of a tree with a star above it. "It looks like it's marking a place on the map." Liam leaned closer. You might be right. It could be a location nearby. Maybe the person who made this journal wanted someone to find it." Emma felt a thrill of excitement. "Do you think the cabin itself is part of the secret?" "Very likely," Liam said. "It seems like everything here was designed to be hidden, but also discoverable by the right person." They studied the maps and sketches, trying to understand the symbols. One map showed a forest not far from the cabin, with a winding path leading to a spot marked with a star. Emma's curiosity pushed her to stand up. "Dad, we should go there. Maybe we can find the place the journal talks about," she said, her eyes sparkling. Liam considered it. "We need to prepare carefully. The map might not be exact and the forest could be tricky. But yes, I think we should go. This is what adventure is all about." They packed a small bag with water, snacks, and the flashlight. Emma insisted on bringing the journal, carefully wrapping it in a cloth to protect it. Hand in hand, they stepped out into the crisp morning air, the excitement of discovery lifting their spirits. The forest near the cabin was dense and beautiful. Sunlight filtered through the tall trees, casting dancing shadows on the ground. Birds flew between branches and squirrels ran along the trunks, curious about the new visitors. Emma's heart beat faster with every step. "Do you think we'll really find something, Dad?" she asked. Liam smiled. "I think we already found something incredible. But yes, I believe this forest has a secret waiting for us." Following the map, they walked carefully along the winding path. The trees grew thicker, and the sound of the creek faded behind them. They passed fallen logs, mossy stones, and small flowers peeking from the forest floor. The air smelled fresh, like rain and earth combined. After nearly an hour, they reached a small clearing. In the center stood an old tree with twisted branches. Its trunk was wide, and at its base was a hollow just big enough for a small person to crawl into. Above the hollow, etched into the bark, was the same star symbol from the journal. Emma's eyes widened. "Dad, this is it. The journal led us here." Liam crouched beside her. "It's perfect. Look at the hollow. There might be something hidden inside." Emma carefully reached into the hollow. Her fingers brushed something smooth and cool. She pulled out a small wooden box, lighter than it looked. She held it in both hands, her heart racing. "It has carvings like the chest," she said. "This must be part of the secret." Liam nodded. "Let's open it carefully. Take your time." Emma opened the box slowly. Inside was a small crystal, glowing faintly in the sunlight. It was clear but seemed to shine with a light from inside. Alongside the crystal were tiny folded notes written in the same handwriting as the journal. Emma picked up the first note. It says, "This crystal holds a power to see beyond what is known. Use it wisely. Protect it always." "Dad, what does that mean?" Liam examined the crystal carefully. "I don't know yet, but it seems this family left it here for someone to find, someone they trusted. Maybe it's connected to the inventions or knowledge in the journal." Emma's curiosity grew even stronger. "Do you think we can figure out how it works?" "Possibly," Liam said. "We have to be careful and patient. We shouldn't rush. Let's take it back to the cabin and study it there." They carefully wrapped the crystal and the notes in a cloth and walked back through the forest. Emma's mind was buzzing with questions. What kind of power could a crystal have? Why was it hidden for so long? And most importantly, why had they been chosen to find it? Back at the cabin, they set the crystal on the table in the hidden room. Emma spread out the notes in the journal, comparing them with the sketches and symbols. Each page seemed to provide hints, but nothing was completely clear. "Look at this, Dad," Emma said. "Some of the symbols match the crystal's shape. I think it's part of a bigger puzzle." Liam nodded. "It seems so. The family who owned this cabin must have had knowledge they wanted to pass down, and now it's in our hands." Emma's eyes sparkled with excitement. "I feel like we're part of something important. Like a real adventure story." Liam smiled, proud of her enthusiasm. "You are, Emma. But remember, we have to respect this. It's powerful knowledge, and we have to be careful with it." They spent the afternoon studying the journal, maps, and notes. The crystal glowed faintly, almost as if it was aware of their attention. Emma traced her fingers lightly over the carved symbols, wondering what secrets were waiting to be revealed. As the sun began to set, the cabin was bathed in warm orange light. Shadows stretched across the walls, and the hidden room felt alive with mystery. Emma looked at the crystal, her mind full of questions. She could sense that their discovery was only the beginning. "Dad, tomorrow we should explore the forest more," she said. "There might be other places marked on the maps, other secrets waiting for us." Liam nodded. "Yes, but we'll take it slow. Each discovery matters, and we have to make sure we understand everything we find." That night, as they slept in the cabin, Emma dreamed of glowing crystals, hidden chambers, and forests full of secrets. She felt excitement and curiosity like never before. The adventure had truly begun, and she knew that the days ahead would bring challenges, discoveries, and perhaps answers to questions they hadn't even thought to ask yet. The cabin, bought for $5, had transformed from a quiet, abandoned building into a place full of mystery, magic, and possibility. Emma and Liam were ready to uncover its secrets step by step, and they could feel that this adventure would change their lives forever. The morning air was crisp as Emma and Liam stepped outside the cabin. The sun was just rising, casting a golden light across the trees. Birds chirped happily, and the creek sparkled as it wound through the forest. Emma carried the crystal carefully in a small cloth, while Liam held the journal and notes. Both were eager to continue their adventure. "Dad, I can't stop thinking about the crystal," Emma said. "I wonder what it can do." The note said it can help see things beyond what is known. Liam nodded thoughtfully. "Yes, but we have to be careful. The last thing we want is to rush and make a mistake. Let's study it slowly and pay attention to every detail." They returned to the hidden room in the cabin. The walls of the small space seemed warmer in the morning light, and the crystal almost seemed to glow more brightly than before. Emma set it gently on the table and unwrapped the notes. "Look at this," she said, pointing to a sketch. "It shows the crystal shining on a map and revealing a hidden path. Maybe it can guide us to something important?" Liam leaned closer. "Interesting. That would explain why the family hid it here. Perhaps it was meant to guide someone to a secret place. Emma picked up the crystal and held it over the map carefully. Sunlight from the window hit the crystal, and suddenly a faint glow spread across the surface of the paper. Lines appeared that had not been visible before, forming a path through the forest. Emma gasped, "Dad, look! The crystal is showing a trail on the map." Liam's eyes widened in surprise. "I see it. This is incredible. It's like a real guide." Emma studied the lines carefully. They seemed to lead to a part of the forest they had not explored yet, further beyond the clearing they had visited yesterday. A sense of excitement and nervousness filled her. "Should we go today?" she asked. Liam considered. "Yes, but we need to be prepared. Let's take some extra supplies and make sure we leave notes about where we are going. Safety is important." They packed a small backpack with water, snacks, a first aid kit, and the journal. Emma insisted on keeping the crystal close to her chest as if it was a living thing. Hand in hand, they set off into the forest, following the glowing path revealed by the crystal. The forest grew denser as they walked. Sunlight filtered through thick branches, casting patterns on the ground. Birds sang from above, and the soft rustle of leaves under their feet made the journey peaceful yet exciting. Emma felt her heart race with anticipation. "Dad, I feel like this forest is full of magic," she whispered. Liam smiled. "Maybe it is. Sometimes nature itself holds secrets we can barely imagine." The path led them through small streams, over moss-covered stones and past fallen trees. Emma noticed symbols carved into some of the trees, small stars and other shapes that matched the sketches in the journal. She realized the path was carefully marked for anyone who had the knowledge to read it. After nearly 2 hours, they reached a hidden valley. The sunlight shone brightly here and the air felt warmer. In the center of the valley was a small stone structure, almost like a miniature temple hidden behind thick bushes. Emma gasped in awe. "Dad, this must be it. The crystal led us here." Liam nodded, equally amazed. "It looks ancient. We need to be careful. But yes, this must be the place mentioned in the journal." They approached the structure cautiously. The stone walls were covered in moss and small vines climbed up the sides. Emma noticed a pattern carved into the entrance, a symbol that matched the crystal perfectly. She felt a shiver of excitement run down her spine. Inside, the air was cool and smelled faintly of earth. The stone floor was smooth, and in the center of the room was a pedestal. On the pedestal sat a small round object covered by a cloth. Emma could hardly contain her curiosity. "Dad, should I lift it?" she whispered. Liam nodded. "Slowly, Emma. Let's see what it is." Emma carefully removed the cloth, revealing a small glowing orb. Its light was soft but steady, almost like it was alive. Emma held it close, and the room seemed to brighten with its glow. She noticed that the carvings on the walls seemed to shimmer in response to the light. "This is amazing," Emma whispered. "It feels powerful." Liam examined the orb. It must be connected to the crystal. The journal mentioned objects that could reveal hidden knowledge. "I think we found one of them." Emma remembered the notes in the wooden box. They said the crystal could help see things beyond what is known. She held the crystal near the orb, and suddenly, strange images appeared in the air around them. Faint outlines of landscapes, structures, and even people from long ago shimmered before their eyes. "Dad, look," Emma cried. "It's showing history, people, places, things we could never see otherwise." Liam's mouth fell open in surprise. "This is incredible. The crystal and the orb together. They reveal the past, perhaps even secrets the family wanted to preserve." Emma reached out and touched one of the floating images. It felt like a soft breeze, warm and alive. She realized that the glowing shapes were not solid but carried information, showing moments from long ago. "This is like stepping into a story that really happened," she whispered. Liam nodded. "Yes, and we have to remember, we are the only ones who know about this. It's a responsibility." They spent hours in the hidden valley exploring the orb's visions and making notes in the journal. Emma sketched what she saw, trying to capture the shapes and structures before they disappeared. Liam recorded patterns and symbols, hoping they could make sense of the messages. As the afternoon sun began to dip toward the horizon, Emma and Liam realized they had discovered something far more important than treasure. The crystal and the orb were tools of knowledge, revealing secrets of the past that had been hidden for generations. "Dad, I think this is why the cabin was sold for $5, Emma said. "Maybe the family wanted someone who could appreciate this knowledge, someone who could protect it." Liam smiled. I think you're right, Emma. And it seems we were chosen to find it. That's why we have to be careful and wise in what we do next. As they walked back to the cabin through the fading light, Emma felt a mixture of wonder and excitement. The forest seemed alive, almost aware of their presence. She hugged the crystal close, feeling its warmth. That night in the small cabin, Emma could hardly sleep. Her mind was full of the glowing orb, the hidden valley and the floating images of the past. She felt as if the cabin itself was alive, guiding her and her father toward discoveries they could never have imagined. Dad, she whispered in the quiet of the cabin, I think tomorrow we should go back to the valley. There's more to see. The orb only showed a part of its secrets today. Liam nodded, smiling in the dark. We will, but we'll go slowly. Every secret matters, and we need to understand it all. Emma lay in her bed thinking of the paths they had followed, the glowing orb, and the crystal. She felt a sense of purpose, a feeling that their adventure was not just a game or a story. It was real, and it was changing their lives. The cabin, hidden room, crystal, and orb were no longer just discoveries. They were the beginning of a journey, one filled with mystery, knowledge, and wonder. Emma knew that each day would bring new surprises, and that the secrets of the past were waiting to be revealed, one by one. And as the stars appeared in the night sky outside, Emma felt a sense of excitement and determination. She and her father were on the path to uncovering something extraordinary, a story that had been hidden for generations, waiting for the right people to find it. The morning sun spilled golden light across the trees as Emma and Liam stepped outside the cabin. The air was fresh, and the sound of the creek running nearby was gentle and calming. Emma held the crystal carefully, its faint glow warm in her hands. Liam carried the journal and notes, both of them eager to continue their discovery. Dad, I think today we should go back to the valley, Emma said. The orb showed us so many things yesterday, but I feel there is more to uncover. Liam nodded. Yes, I agree. We need to explore patiently and pay attention to every detail. We don't know what else the orb might reveal. They packed a small bag with water, snacks, and the journal, making sure the crystal was wrapped carefully. Then, hand in hand, they followed the path back into the forest. Sunlight filtered through the thick branches, creating patterns on the ground. Birds sang in the treetops, and squirrels darted along the trunks, watching the travelers curiously. As they approached the hidden valley, Emma's excitement grew. The stone structure from the previous day stood quietly among the trees, its moss-covered walls glowing softly in the morning light. The carvings and symbols on the entrance seemed to shimmer faintly, almost welcoming them back. Dad, it feels like it's waiting for us, Emma whispered. Liam smiled. Yes, it does. Let's be careful but curious. That's the way to discover secrets. Inside the small stone structure, the air was cool and quiet. The pedestal at the center held the glowing orb, its light steady and soft. Emma placed the crystal beside it, and instantly the orb seemed to respond, glowing brighter. Faint images appeared above it, floating gently in the air. Emma reached out, her fingers brushing the shimmering shapes. The images showed a vast forest, streams, and hidden pathways. There were glimpses of tools, objects, and buildings, some of which Liam recognized from the sketches in the journal. Dad, look, she said, pointing. These are places in the forest. Some of them look like they were used for experiments or studies. Liam studied the images closely. Yes, I think the family used these places to test their inventions or record knowledge. The journal might have more clues about what each location was for. Emma felt a rush of excitement. Do you think we can go to these places? See what they were studying? Liam nodded. Yes, but we must move carefully. Some of these spots might be dangerous or fragile. We don't want to disturb anything unnecessarily. They spent the morning following the images from the orb. The first location led them to a hidden clearing, where old wooden platforms were scattered among the trees. The platforms looked like they had been used for experiments, with small tools and containers left behind. Emma picked up a small metal object, examining it closely. Dad, look at this, she said. It's like a measuring tool. It must have been part of their studies. Liam smiled. Yes, the family must have been very smart. They were careful to hide everything, but leave clues for someone who could understand it. Emma noticed a small tree nearby with symbols carved into its bark. She compared them to the sketches in the journal. This matches the symbols in the notes. The crystal and the orb are showing us exactly where to look. Liam nodded. It seems the family wanted someone curious and careful to find these secrets. They left a path for us to follow. After exploring the clearing, they followed the next image from the orb, which led them deeper into the forest. The trees grew taller and the sunlight became dimmer as they walked. Emma felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness, knowing they were about to discover something new. Eventually, they reached a small cave hidden behind a thick wall of vines. The entrance was low and narrow, almost as if it was meant to keep people out. Emma held the crystal in front of her and the orb's light glowed brightly, illuminating the path inside. "Dad, should we go in?" she asked, her voice full of wonder. Liam nodded. "Yes, but slowly. Watch your step." Inside the cave, the air was cool and damp. Stalactites hung from the ceiling, and small pools of water reflected the orb's glow. At the center of the cave was another pedestal, smaller than the one in the stone structure. On it rested a small metal box, its surface covered in carvings that matched the crystal. Emma carefully lifted the lid. Inside were several objects: a small compass, a tiny magnifying glass, and folded sheets of parchment. She unfolded the first sheet and read aloud, "Use these tools with the crystal to uncover hidden knowledge. Each tool reveals a part of the past waiting for careful eyes and hands." "Dad, this is amazing." Liam examined the objects closely. These tools must have been used with the crystal and orb to study the world around them. They left a system, a way to understand the forest and the knowledge they recorded. Emma's eyes sparkled with excitement. "We can do it, Dad. We can explore each place, use the tools, and learn everything they wanted to teach." They spent the afternoon experimenting. The compass, when placed near the crystal, revealed hidden directions. The magnifying glass, when held over the parchment, made faint drawings appear. Each tool revealed a new part of the forest or a hidden fact about the past. "This is incredible," Emma whispered. "The family hid so much knowledge. They trusted us to find it and understand it." Liam nodded. "Yes, and we must be careful and patient. Knowledge is powerful, and it must be treated with respect." As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the forest, Emma and Liam returned to the cabin. Their minds were full of excitement and their hearts were racing with curiosity. They had uncovered part of the family's secret, but they knew there was much more to discover. That evening, they studied the journal and notes once more. Each page seemed to connect to a location in the forest or a tool in the cave. Emma realized that the family had created a network of hidden knowledge, a system that required careful observation, patience, and courage. "Dad, I think we've only seen a small part of what's hidden," she said. "There are more places, more tools, and more secrets waiting for us." Liam smiled, proud of her determination. "Yes, Emma, and together we will uncover them. This is a journey, not a race. Each step matters, and every discovery is important." That night, as they slept in the small cabin, Emma dreamed of glowing crystals, hidden caves, and floating images of the past. She imagined herself exploring every corner of the forest, learning the secrets of the family, and understanding the knowledge they had protected for generations. The cabin, the hidden room, the crystal, and the orb had transformed from ordinary objects into a gateway to a hidden world. Emma and Liam were no longer just visitors. They were explorers chosen to uncover mysteries and preserve knowledge. And as the stars twinkled in the sky above, Emma felt a sense of wonder and purpose. She knew that the adventure was only beginning, and that the days ahead would bring more discoveries, more challenges, and more moments of awe. The forest outside the cabin was alive with secrets, and Emma could feel them calling to her. She was ready to follow, to learn, and to discover everything the hidden world had to offer. The next morning, Emma and Liam awoke to soft sunlight filtering through the trees around the cabin. Their minds were still buzzing with the discoveries from the hidden valley and the cave. The crystal rested carefully in Emma's hands, its faint glow warming her palm. Today, she felt, would be the day they uncovered the greatest secret. "Dad, I feel like everything is leading to something big," Emma said as they packed supplies for the day. The crystal, the orb, the tools, they all seemed connected to one final secret. Liam nodded. "I agree, Emma, but we need patience. The family who left this knowledge was wise. They wouldn't reveal everything at once. We need to follow the clues carefully." They left the cabin and followed the glowing path revealed by the crystal. The forest was alive with sound, birds calling, leaves rustling in the breeze and the distant murmur of the creek. The path led them further than before, into a part of the forest where the trees grew taller and closer together, creating a natural canopy. This part of the forest feels different, Emma whispered. Quieter, but also special. Liam glanced around, smiling. It's beautiful, and I think you're right. The family must have chosen this spot carefully. It feels protected, like it has been waiting for someone to find it. After walking for some time, they reached a hidden clearing larger than any they had seen before. In the center stood a stone circle, arranged with precision. Each stone was engraved with symbols matching those in the journal. In the middle of the circle was a pedestal, higher and more ornate than the ones in the valley and the cave. Emma's heart raced. Dad, this must be it. The final place. Liam nodded, his eyes wide with amazement. It looks like it. Let's approach carefully. As they stepped into the circle, the crystal in Emma's hand began to glow brightly. The orb, which she had brought from the stone structure, floated gently above the pedestal, responding to the crystal's energy. Faint lines of light spread from the pedestal, connecting the stones around them, forming a map of energy and knowledge. Emma carefully placed the crystal beside the orb. Immediately, the symbols on the stones began to shimmer, and a soft hum filled the clearing. Then slowly, a hidden compartment opened in the pedestal, revealing a small wooden box. Emma held her breath as she lifted the lid. Inside was a golden key, delicate yet strong, and a folded parchment. She unfolded the parchment carefully. It says, "The key unlocks the heart of knowledge. Only the ones who have proven their curiosity, patience, and courage may enter. Use it wisely." Dad, this is incredible. Liam examined the key. Yes, it's remarkable. This family created a journey for someone worthy, and it seems they chose us. Emma's eyes sparkled with excitement. Do you think there is another room, another hidden place we need to find? Liam nodded. I believe so. The key must unlock the last part of their secret. Let's look around carefully. They examined the clearing, comparing the symbols on the stones to those in the journal and notes. Emma noticed a narrow path leading to a wall of thick vines. As she moved closer, the orb floated toward the vines and glowed brightly. The light revealed a small door hidden among the leaves. Dad! Look! There's a door! Emma exclaimed. Liam stepped forward. It's hidden well. This must be the final place the key unlocks. Let's go slowly. Emma inserted the golden key into the lock. It turned smoothly, and the door opened with a soft creak. Beyond the door was a staircase descending into darkness. The walls were carved with symbols and images, glowing faintly in the light of the orb and crystal. This is amazing, Emma whispered. It feels alive. They carefully walked down the stairs, reaching a large underground chamber. The room was filled with artifacts, shelves of scrolls, and maps covering every surface. In the center stood a massive table with the family's inventions, tools, and devices neatly arranged. Liam's eyes widened. This is their collection, their knowledge. Everything they studied, preserved, and protected is here. Emma approached the table, her fingers brushing over the objects. She picked up a small telescope and a folded map. The map showed forests, mountains, rivers, and hidden locations, some of which they had already visited. It's all connected, Dad, she said. The crystal, the orb, the tools, the forest, the hidden rooms. They left a trail for someone to find all of this knowledge. Liam nodded. Yes, and it seems we are meant to learn from it, understand it, and protect it. This is more than treasure. It's wisdom passed down for generations. Emma felt a mixture of excitement and responsibility. We have to be careful with this. We can't rush. We need to study everything and understand it properly. They spent hours exploring the chamber. Every artifact and scroll told a story. Some described inventions designed to study nature. Others detailed experiments in observation, measurement, and creativity. Emma realized that the family had dedicated generations to learning and preserving knowledge. "Dad, this is amazing," Emma said. "They wanted someone curious and careful to find it, and now it's ours to protect." Liam smiled, proud of her understanding. "Yes, Emma, and that means we have a responsibility. We must respect it, learn from it, and keep it safe." As the sun began to set outside, they climbed back to the cabin, carrying a few scrolls and notes they could study safely. Emma held the crystal close, feeling its warmth, while Liam carried the journal. Both felt a sense of wonder and fulfillment. That evening, they studied the scrolls by the fire, learning about the family's discoveries. Emma realized that their adventure had given them something far more valuable than gold or treasure. They had found knowledge, wisdom, and a connection to a family who had lived centuries before them. "Dad, I feel like we've become part of their story," Emma said softly. "We are continuing their work, discovering what they wanted us to find." Liam nodded. "Yes, Emma. And together we can learn everything they left behind. This is a journey, one that will continue for years." Emma looked around the cabin, imagining all the places they had explored: the hidden room, the valley, the cave, and the underground chamber. Each discovery had been more amazing than the last. She smiled, knowing that this adventure had changed their lives forever. As night fell, the stars twinkled above the cabin. Emma held the crystal, feeling a connection to the forest, the hidden rooms, and the family who had preserved their knowledge. She knew that they had been chosen for a reason. "Dad," she whispered, "I think the real treasure isn't the crystal or the orb. It's the adventure, the knowledge, and the secrets we've uncovered together." Liam smiled, hugging her gently. "You're right, Emma. And the most important part is that we discovered it together. That makes it even more special." For the first time since their journey began, Emma felt a deep sense of peace. The cabin, bought for $5, had become so much more than a simple building. It was a gateway to a hidden world, a place of wisdom, discovery, and connection. And now she and her father were part of that story, entrusted with its secrets. The forest outside was quiet, but it felt alive, filled with the knowledge of the past and the promise of discoveries yet to come. Emma knew that their adventure was only beginning in another way, one of learning, understanding, and sharing the hidden wisdom with care. And as she lay in her small bed in the cabin that night, Emma felt a sense of joy, curiosity, and purpose. She had uncovered the secrets of the hidden rooms, the crystal, and the orb. She had discovered the family's legacy, and she knew that together with her father, she could continue the journey, exploring the mysteries of the forest and the knowledge that had been preserved for generations. The cabin, the hidden rooms, the crystal, and the orb were no longer just discoveries. They were a connection to a family's wisdom, a guide to understanding the past, and a path to learning for the future. Emma and Liam were ready for everything the world had to offer, and they knew that their lives had been forever changed by the adventure that began with a simple cabin bought for $5. And with that, they both fell asleep, dreaming of new discoveries, hidden secrets, and the endless possibilities waiting for them beyond the forest.